What is going on, guys? It's Adam and Marf. Tonight's show, we're going to be talking about Texas and the people there that will probably not be watching tonight. Again, praying for everyone in Texas, especially those without power. We'll be right back right after this. All right, what is going on, guys? It's Adam and Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Tonight we have a very, very interesting show tonight because there's a lot of you that aren't going to be watching tonight. As we warned many times that the weather was going to get crazy, but not a lot of people realized that it was going to get this crazy. There are some pretty serious events happening around the country, so we are going to do a nod to that, and then we'll talk about everything else that's going on. Of course, over the weekend, there was a lot, so we're going to get right into it. Before I get started, though, I just want to let you guys know that nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else with the show, and you should always do your own research and consult professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. With that being said, get our notifications directly from us. If you don't trust the platforms, and again, they have a lot of things changing all the time, you can get notifications from us. So that way you won't say, hey, I got your notification on Monday for November's show. So remember, go to marfooglenews.com and sign up for that and email alerts at the same time. That would be the system we use to get a hold of you in the event of anything going down. And then, of course, tonight you can follow along. We make sure to take the time before every single show, and this is a live show. You can call in at 224-400-MARF to actually put every single article, tweet, video that we show you here tonight. It's very easy to navigate. You just look for tonight's thumbnail here, and if you need a second to figure that out, of course, this is not a drill. It's right on the website. When you click on it, you will see that it goes right to all of the links, all of the sources. We back up every single story that we show you with a source. And if it is, say, rumor or opinion, we make sure to clarify so. Of course, all of the tweets from tonight, we're going to be showing you some tweets about what is kind of currently going on as up to the minute as possible. That will all be on the website as well. Let's bring in Dex. Dex is my co-host and my internet brother. Dex, how are you doing tonight, and what is going on?
Well, hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing good.
So apparently there's a couple things here. The Dallas skyline will go dark tonight to conserve energy as the electric emergency continues in Texas. Now, this is kind of crazy because I've actually talked about moving to Texas because they have their own grid, but apparently something is going on there to the extremes. Of course, just less than a week ago, we saw the horrible pileup that happened. That was 132 cars, I think it ended up being. That was because of the extreme weather. That is still going on. It's so much so, I actually talked to somebody and they said that their post office in Houston, I believe, is closed till Wednesday. The post office, rain, sleet, or snow, right? But apparently not everywhere because this is really bad. So we're going to talk about that here in just a second. In fact, I'll get right into it. Historic winter storm batters nation's midsection. It says, while some Texans are thrilled to see cold and snowy weather, others say that the winter storm is a nightmare on the roads and causing problems at home. The most unrelenting weather pattern in decades unleashed brutally unseasonable cold and record snowfall deep into Texas, sparked harrowing cases and harrowing scenes on roadways across the middle of the country, and left millions of customers without power over the weekend. It says the coast-to-coast weather system caused particular chaos across Texas. Now, this is one of the first times in the last 3 years that I've covered news and weather that I have actually seen that all 50 states are going to hit freezing temperatures. That is pretty incredible. We right now have snow. We had over a foot. It was pretty insane. And one night we had such a blizzard, and I did take some good video of it, which I'll show you most likely on Twitter. of just howling wind. We lost many trees, a lot of power outages. Of course, it was so windy that and so powerful that the snow was going into our front doorway to the point where I couldn't open it. I had to go around and kind of dig it out. In fact, if I would have opened it, you would have just seen a wall of snow up 7 or 8 feet. And that was because of the horizontal snow hitting my door. I mean, it was really intense. We had wind that was so bad. I have a 10 by 10 that's over my deck, and it is ripped to shreds. In fact, after the last storm, it kind of lifted up. This was so windy that I had to zip tie every leg to parts of the deck, and it actually basically almost pulled the wood, the 2x4s, off of the top of the deck. That's how hard it was going. And then these zip ties are, the huge ones. Not the little dinky ones. These are, meant to hold up, you could hold up barbells with it with just one. Now, what happened is it was so bad, it ripped this polyurethane like super strong. This wasn't like a cheapo 10 by 10 you get at Lowe's. This was a one that you put over your deck. And it was just ripped to shreds. I mean, this was incredible wind. We had trees down just down the street. So that was what happened here. We're on the West Coast. California was seeing cold temperatures. You're talking about the entire coast was hit with this thing. Now the Midwest is being hit. And it is not a drill in the way that these people that have not prepared, there's some pretty serious stuff going on here. Dex, wouldn't you say that this is probably one of the most serious storms that has hit here?
Well, yeah, and wind chills in some areas were getting below single digits, and the temperatures are going to be dropping down to single digits. And these houses aren't built for this. This is not like people that live up north where their houses may be built better for that. They may have different heating type systems, but down here in the southern belt, we get all 4 seasons, but we don't get these deep colds. If we do, it's a day or two, and that's it. You get over it, and your heater runs nonstop. So these houses without power, these guys are getting some really chilly temperatures on the inside. So being prepared for something like that and having all your ducks in a row is, pretty important, and something that you probably wouldn't have thought of, in the high temperatures of typical Texas, right?
Yeah.
We don't think of it here in Georgia. I mean, we're lucky if we get a snow dusting. We'd love to see it. It's always fun, but it just, we don't prepare for that kind of hardcore winter.
Well, it's kind of like in Seattle, no one has air conditioners because we don't have, blazing hot. And people die almost every year of heat stroke, or every year that it gets hot, like, 100-degree temperatures. Even when it's 90 here, people die of sunstroke because people aren't used to the heat. Whereas if you're in Georgia, you guys are, in most places in the Midwest, you guys are used to those 100-degree weather days. On top of that, our weather here is made this humid weather. And when it gets that hot, it is really bad and it's dangerous, right? And people go, well, we have days like that all the time. Or even people in Yakima, Washington, on the other side of the mountains, they're like, oh, we have those temperatures all the time. That's exactly why it is less dangerous there, is everybody's acclimated to it. Everybody is used to it. Everybody's used to this happening. In places like this, it's exact opposite. You guys aren't used to the cold. We have freezing temperatures here on a regular basis. We don't have this craziness of, snow and wind, but you guys just don't have that. This says that the Texas power grid enters emergency alert stage. One day after record-breaking energy use across the state of Texas, managers of the state's power grid placed the system into an emergency alert stage. Early Monday morning, this morning, ERCOT declared, quote, an energy emergency alert 1. Which I believe is the highest. It says also called an EEA, as the first of 3 alert phases. The first. And it says in this phase, the state looks to get electricity from other grids. It says the second stage shuts down large industrial users who have agreed to cut power in an emergency. The third phase is rotating outages. How would they even do that right now? And we're talking about what they would do in California when it's hot weather, only when it's freezing weather. If they had to go to rotating outages, think about that in sometimes below freezing temperatures. That is pretty insane. This is where, people's prep really, really came in handy. And I hope that our Texas watchers, even though you may not be watching this until a couple days from now, and I'm praying for you, I hope that you guys were prepared for anything. You don't have to be prepared for the end of the world to be a prepper. You can be preparing for the next unexpected event. And this was definitely something that, the thing is people expect bad weather, but they don't expect just a horrendous over-the-top weather. But even though we have this kind of stuff all the time where it is extremes, right? Now we are getting used to it to the point where everybody should know that you are going to run into, in the next 2 years, extreme weather to the point where it is insane. So I hope everybody prepped for this. I hope everybody has everything. Again, this was a tweet by the Wizard. It says the Dallas skyline will go dark Monday night to conserve energy as the electric emergency continues in Texas and neighboring states hit hard by the bitter Arctic blast. So in a lot of instances, it basically shows, they exaggerate something like this. This one isn't exaggerated, and it just kind of came out. And of course, they said it was going to possibly get bad, but now we are going to see the toll from this afterwards. A lot of people have no power, and inside their house with no fireplace, no nothing, they are freezing. So I bet you we're going to see a toll from this, if you guys know what I mean. And then we'll get into some of the other stuff. First of all, though, I want to talk about some of this. So there's a lot, of course, going on in the world. I'm going to go over to the chat real quick and see who is all here. Thank you all for coming, and I appreciate everyone that's here. Tower Bear says, Houston, Texas, most of the roll roads and main roads are closed. Lots of businesses are closed as well. Tower Bear, I'm sorry to hear that. It says 1 degree here in central Texas last night. Okay, so that was JT Pencil saying that it was 1 degree in Texas last night, in central Texas. That is incredible. Those are the kind of temperatures you walk outside in, Arctic weather in Antarctica. Lisa K23, the South Texas nuclear plant is offline too. So here's where I want to go with this is again, be prepared for anything. But on top of that, what is possible right now when you have such a huge event going on, and now they're turning off nuclear plants, they're doing all sorts of weird things with power? I would highly, highly recommend everybody have their shoulders and wits about them, because anything can happen. See, the thing is people think that all of the bad guys are going to put stuff on pause right now. They're not. They're going to look for things like this to take advantage of. In fact, they very well. Here's another thing. Solar winds, which, again, was the largest hack in history, and now there's a lot of stuff coming out about it, and who knows why they're coming out with so much about it. But again, all 5 military branches and over 180 or 18,000 different departments, nationwide here in the U.S. were hacked into. So this is a huge deal. That would be required to pull off, say, one of the biggest Fantastic Freddy's you've ever seen. You're talking about making badges and fake identities on a whim, right, for thousands. I hope everybody understands where we're going here. The hypotheticals are incredibly worrying, and especially when you understand how big this was. So they're not going to put all of their operations on pause. Of course, if you remember during the last admin, they talked about the country with basically saying because we took out their general, that they were going to basically get back at us. And the reason why we took out that general is because the previous admin said that they were planning a September of 2001 to the likes that no one has ever seen. And it wasn't just a single area, it was an event. It was an event that all of the world would remember. That was even one of the entire world will remember what's coming next. So just remember that. Remember that, we take everything for granted, including our air. I have seen a lot of very disturbing things lately, even talking about these future plans with these different groups. They're talking about how the future has to work. We take air for granted. Of course, air is free, right? That's the saying. Well, air is free, right? Probably not for long. And that sounds crazy, but when you see what they actually project is happening, then it starts to get pretty clear. Billionaires and trillionaires and whatever out there exists above the normal people, they believe that we are taking up air. And I truly do believe that. Like we do not deserve that air. When they look at us, they look at us like we look at these videos of tweakers falling asleep and falling over in the streets. That's how they judge us, right? And no offense if you are one of those, but again, when you look at videos, you just say, oh God, that's so sad. That's how they look at regular people. So I just hope that everybody is paying attention for all of this. Scooby-Doo Do Right, Renegade Petey, Stand Strong Woman, Renegade, thank you again. Bones Mama, hey Bones Mama, I'm appreciative that you are here. Texas Rob 49, 14.9 inches of snow for me. No water right now. So Texas Rob has no water. Do you see what I mean? Tea lights under 2-day flower pots equals heat. Lisa K, great suggestion. Geisy, and of course, the truth is out there. Thank you guys for being here. Shout out to Gone Girl. Shout out to Dixie Doe. Shout out to Amy R, a Yak Star. Texas Electric Company having to buy power at 100 times normal rate. So they are buying power back. That is incredible. Where people have solar systems right now, they are probably selling their power. And like it says, if they're buying power at 100 times the rate, those people with solar systems are probably laughing all the way to the bank right now. Thanks, Dipsadoodle, and 3 others that followed right just now. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Brad W., Tony617. I appreciate you guys. Chronically Dysfunctional Jennifer Beckwith. Thank you for being the last one out on the Friday show. That was an awesome show. Thank you guys for joining me on that. All right, let's see here. Again, if you want to call in, the number is 224400-MARF. Again, that is 224400-6273. Rogue FAA employee offered to commit treason for China. It says a Federal Aviation Administration FAA employee offered to commit, quote, treason and espionage in exchange for $27.7 million and a promise of asylum in Germany, France, or China, according to a plea agreement filed February 10th in Washington, D.C. It says in a statement of offense attached to the plea, Brian J. Booth, who was assigned to the FAA's Enforcement Division, admitted to disclosing U.S. secrets last year when he sent letters to German, French, and Chinese embassies containing the names of pilots and mechanics who had been stripped of their operating certificates after being deemed security threats by the agency. It says Booth, 38, has worked as a legal assistant to the FAA since 2011 per federalpay.org and was responsible for sending out the revocation letters. The filing says it is not clear if Booth is still on federal payroll, but under the law, a conviction requires he be removed from his position. His court-appointed lawyer, Ubong Akpan, did not immediately respond to the request for comment. It says the government's affidavit in support of the criminal complaint against Booth remains sealed, and a charging document filed in late January states that only that Booth did disclose in a manner not authorized by law the identity of individuals who had their aircraft maintenance or piloting privileges revoked. Why? Dex, do you have any ideas? This kind of seems like there's something here that's right under the nose.
A little further down to what he talks about, he said like why he was doing what he was doing. It was kind of creepy in the sense that he was.
So I have the quote. I have the quote right here. It says, quote, I am an employee of the FAA in Washington, D.C. The FAA and the Department of Homeland Security has been tracking a few suspicious people in the last 3 years. These people are considered T, right? The problem right now is that the United States government is not doing a thing about this. If the United States won't do a thing about it, then I will. I have compiled a list of 25 individuals and companies that are committing T activities against your country. They work for the aviation industry. They are pilots and mechanics who do not go through security checks at airports. I have enclosed the list of the last page of information to pay me. I am selling this information. I am committing and espionage. I expect to be paid to seek asylum in your country. No questions asked. The last page gives instructions on how to contact me and payment information. And then it was signed BB. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the stuff that we're not seeing, and this is the stuff that's going to come back and haunt us. These are the things that they said they saw and they knew about before September of 2001. And it is coming again. I promise. So people should definitely realize that we are in a new world. We've been in a new world for a long time. Now we have technology to make these things. Think about all of the technology and all the great uses for technology. Think about all of the advancements and all of the bad uses that a lot of this has. And now think about the recent situation that a group with probably millions or trillions of dollars, probably another government, just hacked our entire country. And by our, I mean U.S. And our systems that they hacked have information on the entire world. So no matter where you are, just realize that those Fortune 500 companies that you shop through that are worldwide conglomerations that have all of your info, that have been tracking you and basically keeping all of your data and data logging you for years, those are U.S. companies that have been hacked. Hopefully it doesn't fall on deaf ears. Dex, I do not have. I'm going to pull up YouTube, but for whatever reason, it's just not connecting again. What do you guys think about this? Again, with everything that is going on, there is, of course, a ton to be discovered. And this is where you guys come into play. Right now, if you can, if you're over on YouTube, make sure to press the like button. Make sure it's not broken. Again, we're having a lot of issues over on the tube. All right, let's see here. Let's pull this
I got him in screener if you want him.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Let me turn this off so don't take away from the bandwidth here. 3,000 watching. Oh, yep, that's why I was glad I checked. Anna Trejos, much love to Adam Dex, and do take care of Elia, Ohio. We are getting 1-2 punch over the foot of snow, howling winds. It's a beautiful 20-degree degree night right now. See, Anna Trejos, it's amazing when it's nice and it's not an emergency. Open House Texas has experienced rolling blackouts. Thanks to you guys, I was prepped as best as I could be. We will get through this. Texas tough. That is right. Seriously, you guys are awesome. Gone Girl, thank you. You don't have to do that. You know that. Hi, Adam, Dex, Mods, and Foogle fam. I can't stay for the show. The power is out at my house in Houston, Texas, and it is getting very cold fast. Worried about the elderly. I have my gas stove on in the kitchen. I'm good so far. My phone is almost dead. I will catch the replay. Gone Girl, be safe. And again, I hope that people that are doing well, that have the ability, are ending up checking on their neighbors and checking on people that they know about. If you know about elderly that are sitting in somewhere and you know that they're out of power, I hope if you are physically able and are well prepared and have all of the right gear, that you try to help. I know that you're probably just trying to survive there. Prayers for those without power while enduring freezing temps. Be safe. Thank you, Marf and Dex. You're amazing. See, a lot of people don't care about this. This is real people. Thousands are at risk right now, and we're talking possibly hundreds of thousands. So this is a big deal. Chrissa Ann, thank you so much. It says hearts and prayers. Michael Thomas, need to invest in a flamethrower. LOL. I thought about that. I was shoveling snow to my drive, and I was like, I wish I had the Boring Company, the Elon Musk flamethrower. Although I'm not trying to spend whatever that is, $2,000. Not into it. If you have not prepared, again, the Texas grid is something that is actually well prepared for an EMP, or at least now they have a DEMSO team helping protect them. I would highly recommend you looking into EMP Shield. If you're new here and have not seen this, talk to anybody that has worked with these guys yet. This company is currently contracted with agencies like DOD, Department of Homeland Security, and they are officially on the DEMSO team helping prepare the Texas grid for an EMP/solar flare. Again, it can protect against all three phases of an EMP, E1, E2, and E3, and it can protect against solar flare. Make sure to go check it out. Marfooglenews.com/EMP. Again, the most sold one is the car. Don't get stuck out in the snow after an EMP. Multiple ways to enter. Again, there is a contest going on. If you cannot afford one, this is why we ask them all the time to do more contests. Again, all you have to do is go like a couple places, subscribe a couple places, do those things, and you will be entered to win one. Go to marfooglenews.com/contest. There's multiple ways to enter, including daily bonus entries. Go to marfooglenews.com contest. Again, you have to go there for the contest. All right. Dex, let's get on our first caller, and then we are going to talk about unusual shard on the far side of the moon. On top of that, we are going to get into, in a second, of course, Antarctica and all of the alien stuff that is coming out. Pretty insane stuff. And let me pull this up so we can see everybody. All right. And we have Bones.
Yeah, let me get Bones on, Adam. I'm sorry.
Cameron Combs, our power is out in Kentucky, as well as a lot of people. I know this is a huge outage with lots of ice. Stay safe, Marf, and everyone. Hey, Bones, how are you doing? Cameron, I'm praying for you. Hope you are good. Bones, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Good. How are you?
Hey, Bones, how are you doing?
Not too bad. I'm stopped in a truck stop right now.
What state are you in now?
I'm in Indiana. They're supposed to get up to 10 inches here.
Are you in your truck? I know Bones is a trucker. So again, are you going to get stuck, or how is it looking there?
Actually, it's so bad going around Chicago area that everything's red. So I decided to get off the highway, get fuel, park, and I'm done for the night. So
what is going to happen if you get 10 inches? Are you willing to stay there? I mean, if you had to, would you stay in your truck for a few days or what?
I got fuel, I got food, I got water. I got everything I need. So
Bones, are you do you have friends and family that are getting affected by this right now?
I can't hear you.
Do you have friends and family that are being affected by this right now?
Oh yeah, there's basically at home. It's like a blizzard at home right now, and the way people are driving, it's just nuts.
Well, yeah, we don't want another Texas. So it sounds like you might have some bad reception there. Of course, you're out in Indiana, which should have pretty good stuff there. But again, let me pull up your card here. Okay, so you got it. You sent pictures? Is that right?
I sent it's a small video. I was at I'm at a truck stop, and I just took a video going out the windshield. So
okay, I'll play this right now. So this is video from where Bones is at right now in Indiana, and he is, of course, stopped, luckily. Let's see here. Look at this. That is incredible. This is... And
you can see the snow's going like sideways.
This is how it was. This is what I was talking about. It hit our door horizontally to the point where it filled our doorway. This is insanity.
Oh yeah.
So I'm really hoping that you stay safe. Are you just cozied up in your truck, and are all of these other truckers?
Yeah, I'm in my truck, and I've got the heat going. I was only able to go for the past probably about 20, 30 miles. I was only able to go like 20, 25 miles an hour.
Well, that's better than some places. They're saying that people are basically going 1 to 2 miles an hour across a whole state right now. So people are, in fact, packages, they say it might add a week to their time. A week driving from one state to the other. Well, Bones, I'm praying for you, and I hope that you're okay. Is there one more thing you want to say before you go?
Oh, I had a YouTube video on there too, I do believe.
Oh, okay. Perfect. I didn't know if that was the same. Okay, what are we looking at, Bones?
Well, it's going up 75, coming through Findlay. There's a highway that merges right there at 15, I think it is. And I got over to let the other people on because there were so many people coming on at one time. So I was in the middle lane. This guy goes flying around me, and you'll see what happens there. It's not a real great video because
the rain.
There's water in front of the camera there a little bit.
Is there a sound that we should be playing, or should we leave the sound off?
No, there's no sound on it. I think there's a little bit of music, but
okay, so we're watching right now.
I don't even remember how long it is.
I was traveling about 54 miles per hour.
Yep. Here he comes.
You almost need a windshield.
There he is.
Oh my gosh.
Watch it. Watch this guy.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You barely missed him.
Barely, yep.
Wow. Wow. And this guy basically tried to cut you off, right? He was swooping around and you saw him on his phone?
He was trying to get in front of everybody. And then he hit the line in between the lanes there, and it shot him over to the right. So,
wow, that is incredible footage. That I'm sure you are going to see a lot more of this now that you have a dash cam. Well, great video, and I'm glad that I caught you before I hung up on that. I'm sorry. Wow, Bones.
Oh, and I had a dream the other night that I don't normally have. Everything turned dark. I was at our local grocery store, and I was getting ready to walk out the door, and everything went dark. Nothing. I couldn't see anything.
Well, see, that's a lot of people. A lot of people are having dreams about the end of the world right now, and for good reason. Well, Bones, thank you again. If you haven't checked out Bones' channel, Bones is one of my good friends, and he has been a mod in our channel over on YouTube for now over 2 years, almost 3. Well, thank you so much, Bones, and be safe, and don't drive again, there's a lot of dumbasses like that out there, so thank you.
I'm sitting my happy butt in the truck stop.
All right.
I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
All right, Bones. Have a good night. It's pretty amazing what you can catch as a driver. That's why we opened up our truckers line. Again, if you call 224-400-MARF, you can actually see that we have a truckers call-in line because truckers see everything. They're crossing the country at all times. If you're on a cross-country route, you see it all. And you also know what's going on as far as military movement, everything else. 3.2 thousand watching over on YouTube. Thank you, everybody, for being there. The world is under attack, says Thomas Bezzi. Lisa Renee says, what's going on? Hey, H. Shalom. C. Fick Do says, catastrophic. Praying for them. Joe Adams says, Dale Blank, Gorilla Glue, the new duct tape. iPet Mermaid, St. Petersburg, Florida, 74 degrees today. Business as usual. See, as far as people in Florida, they're sitting there in the sun. This, I believe, will come your way too. I think that it's going to go over the entire country. I might be wrong about that.
Adam.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting. We're not even going to get it. We're going to get a little bit of cold air tomorrow, but the Gulf Stream is sort of pushing up, so it causes mostly Florida, Georgia, a little bit of Alabama, and then the East Coast, like Carolinas, are going to not get affected by the actual winter weather. Because it'll go more north as it hits Alabama. It's going to go straight up north.
Wow. So there's obviously a ton going on. Of course, now you've got little parts of the country that are not affected, and they're going, oh, what's the big deal? Meanwhile, people in the rest of the country are, dying of cold. Okay, let's get into it. China discovers unusual shard on the far side of the moon. It says a Chinese rover had discovered an unusually shaped rock suspected to be a piece of a meteor wedged into the surface of the moon. It says China's U-22 rover, is that really what it's called? The U-22? The U-22 rover made its discovery on the far side of the moon. The elongated shard was described as, quote, a milestone by the China National Space Administration's, or CNSA's, Science Outreach Channel. It says, and it stands out as the latest example of the fact that the long-observed lunar surface can still hold surprises for intrepid explorers. It says it's shaped. It says what has lunar scientists most excited by the object is that its shape, which stands out from the rest of the other rocks on the moon. It says it seems to have a shard-like shape and is sticking out from the ground. Dan Mortuary, a NASA postdoctoral program fellow at the Goddam Space Flight Center, told Space.com that's definitely unusual. It says deep impact. Next, CNSA researchers plan to inspect the rock further using the rover's visible and near-infrared imaging spectrometer to analyze its material composition. Further analysis is needed to determine the more precise origin. For now, though, Murray hypothesized to Space.com that the rock is a fragment of a meteor impact, a reminder that the desolate surface of the moon is a living geological environment that continues to be shaped by a brutal asteroid impact. So, you know that there's certain channels that are going to be all over this as far as, I don't know how, you know, the pictures that are going to come out of this, but it's probably going to be pretty crazy looking. I know that some of you don't believe, you know, I guess what would be the story behind this? Why would they have this out there? And then on the far side of the moon, in general, why are all of these countries going to the moon? Most of you know my opinion, but if you don't, I do believe that they all of a sudden found out something really bad, and everybody's top priority turned into space travel and to colonizing other planets. Why? Why do we need to terraform Mars? Why do we need to go to the moon? Why do we need to set up base? They say it's all because of money, right? Why do they need to set up sovereign nations in the sky? It's freaking weird. At the same time, they also said in 2029 that we would have Apophis possibly hit us. And then later on, when it got closer to the date, they said, oh, that was a mistake, and now it's not going to hit us. And they put out new numbers. At the same time as they changed the numbers and said, oh, no, we're good, it's not me. And then it comes around in 2030, say, oh, I won't have, yeah. Same time, just so happens they started a Space Force, and then they actually did all of these missions to asteroids, did an asteroid simulation of an asteroid hitting New York. I don't forget any of these things. The countries, the world countries, of course, are all underneath these kind of bigger names, the billionaires and trillionaires. I believe that some of these bigger countries that want to be number one are working with the billionaires and giving them spots at the table, and they are all going to change the world as how they like it. As long as they have a spot, they don't care who is beneath them and what they are. I think that they would be completely happy if some of us weren't here, but I also think that they would be completely happy if we were, we didn't own things and didn't own land and things like that. Seems to me they're all slowly buying up all of our land, screwing with our farmland. You know what's really crazy? Same people that talked about weather and all this, just so happened this extreme weather affected all of us, and especially affected all the farmland across the country, to the point where a lot of farms went bankrupt and then ended up either getting their farmland taken away and basically sold to the bank, or taken away by the bank and then sold for nothing. Guess who bought up that farmland?
Save us, save us, save us from Bill and Melinda. Save us, save us, save us, save us, save us from the billionaires. Save us, save us, save us from Bill and Melinda. Melinda.
I think you get the point. And, of course, we have Pentagon admits it has been testing wreckage from UFO crashes and findings may change our lives forever. Again, I'll just repeat that. Pentagon admits it has been testing wreckage from UFO crashes and findings may, quote, change our lives forever, expert says. It says the Pentagon has admitted to holding and testing wreckage from UFO crashes in a bombshell Freedom of Information letter shared with The Sun. It says researcher Anthony Brogaglia wrote to the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, requesting details of all UFO materials, which they hold, and results of any tests that they had been carrying out. Insane. Insane. RE55 says, great show. 17 wind chill here. Prayers for my sister-in-law in hospice care. Much love, Foogle fam. That's who I think a lot of people are worried about is some of those, some of the older folks in hospice and in hospital care. That's really, really bad stuff. Now, when you see a story like this and when you realize that it actually does have some grounds to it as far as the FOIA request and the stuff that's coming out and everything that has kind of come out in mainstream media, all of the coverage, all of the Tic-Tac UFO videos, all of the stories of Navy and the Pentagon basically saying that we have weaponized space, all of these things basically confirming this, the Navy telling all of its personnel, the entire U.S. Navy saying, hey, if you see something in the sky, report it right away. You have, of course, Oumuamua, our first ever in our world, ever observing an interstellar object that comes by, swoops by Earth, and then speeds up away and out of the interstellar. You've got people from, professors from Harvard saying, I think that was a spaceship. What generation are we in? We are in 2021, and the future does not look like some of these futuristic movies back in the 50s. It's starting to look even crazier. Do you agree or do you disagree? China Cat, nah, what's going on? Thank you. I appreciate that. Go ahead, Dex.
Hey, I was going to say that in this report, they came back with a name for this mysterious metal called nitinol, which is a remembering the original shape when it's folded. This reminds me of everything they told us that didn't happen at the old Area 51, the original, I should say, Area 51, Roswell, New Mexico, right? The Roswell incident, right? The original reports came out about this metal that you could sort of fold and it would go back into shape. You remember that? Yeah. Well, now this is actually referring to that in the response from the Pentagon. That's crazy. And of course, just a couple of weeks ago, it's like all these stories just keep coming out where it talks about how the Navy was using these guys' weird patents and things. The technology, all of these weird things are coming out. Engines that can basically turn air into power and all of this stuff. Then you think about the people that are no longer anywhere to be seen. Now they can't talk anywhere. Talking about kind of the black space projects and things. Were they crazy? Were they? Of course, they were called all sorts of names, and now it is officially coming out that all of this stuff is just absolutely either true or they're saying it is. So do they go back and say sorry to those people that they basically condemned for saying these crazy things that are now Freedom of Information Act, straight from the Pentagon? No. Zippy Moon says, you caught me slipping. Better late than nothing. Says, we have rolling blackouts tonight in south central Nebraska. Zippy Moons, I really hope you are going to be okay. And seriously, this is why people should have, other ways to heat your home. Not everybody has a fireplace that you can burn wood. So make sure to get other things and generators and other ways to power your home. Tower Bear, it's colder
than the underside of your pillow. Tower Bearer, was that you last night? Jen B. Cox says, miss the live stream. I'm late but here. Amen. God bless. Jen B. Cox, thank you so much for being here. And again, doesn't matter if you're late. Babs Bunny, 88 just followed. Thank you. Empress, Unicorn Forest, Anita Torres. Thank you. Thank you and thank you. Corey Adam Comedy. Thanks for following. It's nice to have you guys. Welcome. Anybody, if I say that they just followed, make sure to say hi and let them know that they're welcome here. Nuclear War says, nothing. Just showed some support. All right, and let's see here. As far as this goes, I mean, it says itself. This is an actual screenshot of the FOIA request. Of course, all of this will be available on marfooglenews.com. We back up what we say with our website. You can go there and see all of this, including this article. Again, really, really crazy, crazy stuff. If you look at this, they actually show Defense Intelligence Agency stuff. All sorts of things are in here. So this isn't just tabloid stuff. I guess my big question is, what does this mean, and what happens when they do say something like this? Do you believe it's a false, invasion type thing coming? Is that going to be the big thing? Were some of these crazy people that sat up on pedestals and everybody said that they were nuts, have they been right this entire time? Some of the alien community people that have been, basically pooped on? Don't know. And then, of course, we have Elon Musk claims he is alien in bizarre Twitter exchange when asked about his empire. Actually, this is not too surprising. It says Elon Musk says he is an alien 2 years after denying suspicions that he hails from another planet. The SpaceX and Tesla founder, 49, made the jaw-dropping claim in response to a question about how he runs so many massive companies at the same time. Musk's answer sent fans into a frenzy, with one Twitter user describing his announcement as the worst kept secret, and another commented, "We knew it already that you are an alien." It says tech startup mogul Kunal Shah teased out of the quote from the world's richest man by writing on Twitter, Elon Musk may end up running 4+ $500 billion companies simultaneously at a relatively young age. I like how he put at a relatively young age. Just at any age. It doesn't matter what age he is. Think about that. 4 $500 billion companies. It says, what I really want to understand is, how does he do it? How does he manage context switching? How does he design his organization? So many questions. So if you don't know, Elon Musk has a system where he blocks out 5-minute increments. Dex, did you know that? This doesn't talk.
It doesn't surprise me.
This doesn't talk about it, but in the interview, and I also watch. I watch these cats that are coming up and interviewing certain people, like Mr. Gilly Bates and things like this. I watch the YouTubers that kind of just soar up 10, 20 million subscribers. And in the science realm, they interview these people. And of course, it's not like they approach them to interview them. They were approached and they're like, hey, you've got reach. We want you to do a certain type of thing. Elon Musk, though, he ended up MKHBD YouTube channel, the cell phone guy. He ended up interviewing him and talked about how he blocks out his day. He actually does it in 5-minute increments. So when you interview him, it's like if you have 25 minutes, at the end of that 25 minutes, he's moving out of the room and he's going to his next thing. Or he cancels blocks of 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and he'll move something forward, and he has like 2 or 3 people with him, and they'll end up saying, hey, can we move this 5 minutes out? This guy's a robot. This doesn't surprise me. What do you guys think? Press 1 if you think Elon Musk is a human, 2 if you think he is an alien, or 3 if you think neither. I'll put it up on screen. Do you think he's an alien? Or do you think 3 is a robot? How about that? 3 is a robot. I see a lot of 2s. That's way too many 2s. That's pretty incredible. 3.3 thousand watching. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I really do appreciate that.
Didn't he say before that he suggested that the aliens are actually here among us and they could reveal themselves at any time?
Yeah, he did. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. I think it's freaky. Wow. So many people participated in that. You know what I love is when we do something with the chat and so many people actually participate and all play along. Barefoot Lass, thank you. All Light, Mama Bear. I tried to have it pop up, but it didn't do it. Don't know why. That's right. It'll probably all catch up. It will go whoosh, and you'll see all of it in like 1 second. Foogle fam, I'm going to be having a couple different shows. I'll just take a second. A couple different kinds of shows. We're going to figure stuff out with people like Mark Pyers and oh, see, now I put it in front of everything, and now it is in front of everything. There we go. I'm going to do a couple different shows. We're going to try some new things out. We're going to have other people on. I've talked to Mark Pyers. I've talked to like Wages World and people like that. Possibly having somebody come in and just do a little segment, or having people do short little segments, videos that we end up playing here on the show. Maybe on a weekly basis, maybe on a monthly basis. Don't know yet. But I do think that there are so many really good people out there that I've met through YouTube and other platforms that I think that, you know, there's just a lot of talent out there. So we're going to do that. Also, I want to do a mods show. I want you guys to get to know the mods. A reminder, you know, our mods, the reason why they are our mods is because they don't get involved in drama. In fact, it's always been a rule for 3 years now. If my mods engage in drama, I've actually asked them for 3 years now, you know, go do what you want to do, but don't associate yourself with my channel if you're doing drama. So I actually say like, hey, you know, we can unmod you and you can do 2 months of drama and come on back. But don't do drama well attached to the channel. That's a big no-no. And again, we're trying to incorporate mods more and trying to push you guys up. It is my thing, and I've, you know, set an example that even if people are talking crap, I don't go out there and I don't talk crap back. I never use this place for negativity. I never use this place to put people down. And if I ever did, you guys know it would be something serious. So thank you guys all for being here. I want to do a show with the mods, have them all included. Hopefully everybody can abide by that. All right. Moving on. Thank you. Thank you, several people. I mean, I can't believe how many people put 2. So there's a lot of people that agree that he is an alien. If you want to protect yourself against aliens, governments, and others from data logging you, get NordVPN, marfooglenews.com/VPN. Get a special savings when you type in the code Marfoogle. Again, a virtual private network protects you against all kind of data logging and protects you in public. You can use this on your house computer, your cell phone, your tablet, your kid's tablet, your kid's phone, 6 devices for one price. All right, let's move on to the next caller. We've got several people from all over the place here, so let's see. Now, next we have Jake. If you want to call in, there's still one line open. Jake from Texas is going to give us a live update. Again, the number is 224400-MARF. Jake, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Hello?
What's going on?
Hey, not much. I'm just calling. I live in Texas, so I figured I'd give an update.
All right, what's going on?
Currently, I have no power. A lot of my family doesn't have power either. Right now, we live in North Texas, so Dallas area. It's about 6 degrees outside, and we still have probably, I'd say, 4 or 5 inches of snow in our yard and on the ground. And then the roads are pretty much ice. So yeah, it's been fun.
So how are you? Did you have any kind of power banks? How did you? I mean, probably shouldn't even use the phone much, right? Or do you? What are your solutions? Did you prep for this?
Yeah. So we have it's like a car starter, but we've made it to where it'll charge some stuff if we need it to. My phone's fine because we go in and out of power, so I've been charging it whenever the power comes back on. And then we of course have candles and things like that we've been using instead of the lights, because they asked us to conserve what we can. So
some some of the images of North Texas are pretty shocking. I mean, you guys are covered. As far as the rolling out, you said that your power's coming on every once in a while. Are they trying to fix it and then it goes back down, or are they purposely doing it where you are? Do you know?
I think they're probably doing. It's probably a mix of both. I know that I think it's Econ or something like that. They've been coming and letting us know via like email drops and stuff like that they've been trying to do this where they'll drop one section, because I'm looking at lights on the horizon, so I know people have power. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to mitigate stress on the system. So they're letting people have no power, and then they're turning that person on and then shutting someone else off at the same time, that kind of thing.
Well,
yeah, like I know of the turbines and stuff that they've been frozen over. So
we're all with you here, and we're all praying for you. And a lot of the Foogle fam are emailing and saying that they have barely enough battery to watch. And I got a lot of apologies. There are people that have basically emailed and DM'd me saying, "I'm sorry, I can't watch." Like, that's the kind of people in this audience that they actually say, "Hey, I can't watch tonight because it's really bad out, and I got to conserve battery." So I hope you do the same way, and I'm really hoping. What temperature is it inside your house? Do you guys have a way of heating inside?
Yeah, we have gas fires and stoves, so it's pretty warm downstairs. I'm upstairs right now, but yeah, downstairs it's pretty comfortable. I know my grandparents' house is at 56 degrees right now, so that's pretty cold for them. But I want to say they have a gas fire too, so hopefully that's been going.
Let me ask you.
I just wanted to go ahead.
Do you have a landline?
No, we haven't had a landline in forever.
And nobody does. That's another thing.
I have a ham radio though, but yeah.
Yeah. What were you going to say before that?
I was just going to say, have everybody keep in mind that Texas has its own power grid, and so with us down, to be mindful of events that may happen. I know that there's a lot of other groups that want to capitalize on one of the major three power suppliers being out. So just everyone outside of Texas, whether you're on the Eastern Seaboard or the Western Seaboard, just keep that in mind that, with one major power, supplier out, there's, I'm sure, some groups out there that want to have their way with a crippled, country right now. And then I also want to.
That's exactly what I was saying, by the way.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't able to pick that up. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. I'm just saying the bad guys aren't going to put pause. They're not going to push pause because we're having problems.
Right, exactly.
They're going to use advantage.
I mean, right now we're like, and to be honest, now would be the perfect time because it's nighttime here. So everybody's going to be comfortably sleeping in there. If you don't have power or anything like that, you're not comfortable. But if you do, then you're sleeping just fine. And then all of a sudden the power goes out. You'll think, oh, it's just, a storm, or it's residual from what's happening here, when no, it's something else. And then to keep in mind also that I think it was 2016 or 17, the Marines recently did a different directive and are now able to operate in CONUS. So just keep in mind if something were like that to happen, they don't apply to posse at all. If you read the legislation for posse, there's no mention of Marines at all. So they can operate in CONUS all they want to, and they recently changed their directives to where they give it clearance, so they're able to. So just keep that in mind for
talking about
for
posse
everyone.
comitatus, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
So if you read it, it just mentions the Army and Navy. There's no mention of Marines.
Is there a link that we could?
So everybody,
is there something that we could Google and link for people on the website?
I just looked on Google, and they may have here.
Do you remember what that 2017 order was? Do you remember any name that would be easier to search and pick it up?
No, but I'll look and see if I can find anything. Because I remember reading about it, and I think it was actually on your show when I did. But
I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about.
If I can find it, no.
I can't remember. I know what you're talking about. And again, you are right. So just remember that this could be used by others. Well, hey, thank you, Jake, for calling in, and I'm praying for you. And seriously, we're here, and I know that there's a bunch of people in Texas and all over the place that are in the same situation. So we're praying for all of you. Again, like Gone Girl is in Houston.
Thank you.
A lot of these people are in different places here, and they're all going through something right now. So just know you're not alone, and there are a lot of people that care about you out there. So thank you, and have a great night, okay?
Thank you.
Good night.
I have one more thing. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay, good. I don't know, because I didn't see it on the list, and I didn't ask Dex. It was when you started talking about the space stuff and whatnot. In everyone's free time, look up Solar Warden. It will blow your mind.
I'm looking it up now.
It's a thing similar to what happened with this dump. It was a Freedom of Information Act deal, and in it they basically say that we have operational battleships essentially in space, and they've been there since the 70s, and they're manned by personnel who are pilots or things like that. So, but yeah, it's an insane read.
Well, I will check it out. There's also a video game most likely named that after the real thing, so I will most likely be looking this up because I've never heard of it. Well, thank you, Jake, and you have a wonderful night. Be safe, be prepared, and Marf out. I have not heard of Solar Warden. I'm obviously pulling up the wrong one here. Let's see here. The idea, using shell companies deploying civilian cargo into space to make money on their side. Secret HuffPost.uk. This was 2012 that some of this stuff came out. In fact, I am... oh, gosh. I agree. Here's my data. There you go. Have my data. Since approximately 1980, a secret space fleet code named Solar Warden has been in operation unknown to the public. Do you see this? How does this not get talked about? This is why you have to look underneath. You have to look underneath the first layer of truth. That's why it is imperative that we keep channels like mine and everyone else in my space. You have to be able to talk about this kind of stuff. Granny C says, stay safe, Foogle fam. Thank you, and thank you. Again, lots of... And I think I missed somebody. Thank you, guys, for being impatient with us. RE55, I got you. Stone Master Kevin, don't think I'm not watching. I always watch. I haven't missed a show for a couple of years. I just don't go on chat. Stone Master, I know, and I see you pop in every once in a while, especially when I ask questions. Mrs. D. Allen says, Texans, fill your bathtubs. Several North Dallas municipalities have very low or no water pumps, and water main pipes are freezing, getting dangerous. The worst will arrive tomorrow. Do you hear that? This is why I'm talking about this. Carissa Ann, thank you. Priz Liz says, prayers for those without power while enduring freezing temps. Be safe. Thank you, Marf and Dex. You're amazing. Maddie's mommy, again, thank you for everything you do, Marf, Dex, and everyone who helps on the show. Been watching for the last 2 years. Can't thank you enough. Matt E. says, have you seen Amazon's new Palm screening technology that they're attending at an Amazon Go store? I have. It's local. I was actually just talking about that the other night. That's what I'm saying. You don't even need the mark. You are the mark now, right? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers says, windmills don't work in extreme cold weather. Solar systems do, though. Well, it depends, unless you get it iced over. Open House, Texas, experience rolling blackouts. That's horrible. Sir Budrick, Rothschilds stole Black Start power plants. Ooh, that's a big claim. But Black Start power plants were stolen or accessed, and that means that they know exactly what we would need to do to get them back on. I've heard said Texas, Florida, NYC are considered the undesirable by them. This makes me remember the statement. This makes me remember that statement. Haunted Doll, thank you, says rolling blackouts in Nebraska as well. To conserve power, frozen pipelines are making it impossible to transport natural gas up to power our grid. And we were looking at -22 tonight. So actual temp. Okay, so this is Haunted Doll says that not only is she in Nebraska with rolling blackouts, they can't even get power to them, and the frozen pipelines are making it impossible to transport natural gas, which means they can't heat their homes. This is huge. This is how our system breaks down in just one event. Okay, so this is why we prep. This is why we make sure that we are not dependent on the government system and all of this stuff. As far as, we just think that water is going to keep flowing and that electricity is going to keep going. That's not how it goes. Do not take it for granted. Ever, ever, ever. Mighty Morphin says, D-Live alerts me when you're on. God bless everyone. I know, D-Live is actually really good about alerts. Cindy Moore, stay safe, everyone. Thank you. Again, sorry for missing that. Isn't that, just insane? David Tilley turned my buddy into a prepper, purchased him a small generator 2 weeks ago. Had him buy water and canned foods to start out. He is out of power now. And probably thankful for you, David. That's a big thing to buy. Even if it's a tiny generator, they're not cheap. Alaska Prepper actually is just an amazing dude. You guys got to go check him out. He gave out generators just recently. Again, part of a contest he did. If you guys haven't checked him out, go and check him out. Tara Belay, please take a few minutes tonight to find candles and matches and fill water bottles to grab extra blankets. Please bring in your mammonals. I don't know if you meant to say mammonimals, but that's awesome. Stone Master Kevin, again, thank you. Everybody that was here tonight, thank you all for supporting. Again, we are coming up on a precipice here. Thank you. Let's see here. Mystery life forms have been found in the hostile darkness beneath Antarctica. The waters below Antarctica are amongst the most inhospitable environments on our planet, or so we thought. It's pitch dark and temperatures are sub-zero, yet when scientists drilled through an Antarctic ice shelf far from light or warmth, they found a seafloor boulder that's home to several species we have never seen before. This is a reason why I've said they know more about space than they do about our ocean. This is why I believe that there could be creatures such as, Loch Ness type creatures, more of a plesiosaurus or I want to say platyosaurus or something. Something like that could be down there because we still are discovering things underneath our water. It says the few of the organisms that have been seen in similar locations, but this discovery marks the first time that stationary creatures that live in their lives attached to one place, such as sponges, have been found in this hostile environment. It says this discovery is more than one of those fortunate accidents that pushes ideas in a different directions and shows us that Antarctic marine life is incredibly special and amazingly adapted to the frozen world. One thing I think of is, how did they survive some of the previous crazy cycles that our planet has had? They adapted. Pretty insane stuff. Let's see here. And then we have NASA helicopter to take a spin on harsh, cold Mars. It says NASA has been exploring the surface of Mars with rovers for about 25 years, supposedly. Says Dave Levery, a scientist and robotics expert at NASA headquarters in Washington. But no one has flown an aircraft on a planet other than Earth before. Capable as the rovers are, there's always a place that's either a little bit too far away or across terrains that's a little bit too rugged, or on the other side of a very deep chasm, says Lavery. He manages the NASA programs that focuses on exploring our solar system. What we hope is that if ingenuity is successful, we'll be able to explore in a whole new way. That's a big if, though. Only about half of Mars landings have been successful. And it says even if Perseverance is able to land successfully, scientists aren't certain that Ingenuity will be able to fly as expected. So they are actually going to try to take up a helicopter onto Mars. Now, I bet this is going to fuel a lot more people saying that this is like totally faked. How is Dex, do you know, can you look up what the gravity is like on Mars? Isn't it heavier? Or I guess, is it similar? And with all of the dust storms and things like that, how would you fly a helicopter? How would that even be possible? It doesn't seem exactly right. And then it says,
and I'm here. So the gravity on Mars is much lower. It's about 62% lower.
But the atmosphere,
so
I guess it would be the atmosphere.
If you weighed 100 grams on Earth, you'd weigh 38 grams on Mars.
It says
kilograms, sorry.
It says the Martian atmosphere is only about 1% the density of what we're used to here on Earth. That means that the air is really thin. And piloting the 4-pound drone on the surface of Mars will likely be trying to fly at about 100,000 feet of altitude on Earth. That's almost 3 times as high as airplanes usually. We don't even have helicopters that can fly that high here. I don't think helicopters, they top out. So are they saying that they invented a helicopter that can go 100,000 feet on Earth? It just doesn't. I wonder if we're going to get a video of a CGI video of helicopter flying here. I don't know. Seems weird to me. Wolf of Sheeple says, fake news. You might be right. Ingenuity will always also have to survive very cold temperatures of minus 130 degrees Fahrenheit and recharge its batteries using solar panels. Well, if they can do that, then why aren't we seeing that stuff in consumer stuff? Why aren't we seeing that? Why don't we have infinite power right now? Some of the stuff that now we know from freedom of information, it's like, why don't we have no cost or zero cost energy? It's just they don't want you to because they're making a lot of money off of it. Just like the pharma, pharma doesn't want you to pay $1 for cancer medication. How would they make their money? Think about what lengths they would go to. If I came out right now and I said, hey, I've got the cure for cancer, I wouldn't even make that the last word exit my mouth. I would have a laser and it would go. Pfft. I'd be goners. That's another thing. Think about what these billionaire companies have done. They have just as much power as governments because they can pay off governments. You take somebody out that is competition. Has it happened before? Yes. Have they been caught? Yes. Look at what they've done. That's why I think one of the scariest things out there is corporations right now. Let's get our next caller on. It looks, thank you so much. Rapture soon 2020. Blessings, Adam Dex and the Foogle fam. Maria 35, states without electricity, highest gun owners. Good point. You are live on Marfoogle News.
Hello?
Hello. Pilby Bilbo.
Hi, Adam.
First time caller, you are live from Arizona.
Yes, I am. So this is regarding my daughter, who is now 6 years old. For about 3 years now, she has been having these weird dreams. I guess call them premonitions, but I'm not really into that kind of thing. So Anyway, she would wake up and she would just kind of randomly tell us. She would have a dream about water. It was really scary, and it was just a lot of water. Okay, and then we live a couple hours away from the Grand Canyon. She's never seen it, but when I told her about it, she says, no, that's really bad, and she was scared to even go. So she actually was so freaked out about it that when the family went to the Grand Canyon, she chose not to go because she had a dream about it. Didn't push it. Okay, she went to someone else. Fast forward about 2019. So I grew up on the Texas coast. So we go down there to the beach every year for summer vacation. And we were at the beach. And at that point, she is 5 years old. And she just stood at the sand and just stared at the waves and would not go into the water, just stared at the waves and just kind of blanked out, blank stare. And so when we asked her why she was staring at the waves, she said she was waiting for all the water to leave. And she said she wanted all the water to leave so she could see the seashells. And we said, well, there's all these little seashells here, pick them up. And she says, no, not those. I'm waiting for all the water to go away so I can get the really big ones that we can't see. Okay. Just kind of redirected her. She didn't want to go into the water, and she just kept staring at the water. And she said she's waiting for all the water to go because then she can get all the seashells, the big ones. Kind of just filed that away into, the little memory box. Not really a significant thing. It was just kind of a weird feeling that I got when she said it. So for some reason, I filed that away. Well, now I was watching, it's called San Andreas. It's a movie with Dwayne Johnson. And so we're watching San Andreas, and she was upstairs watching Octonauts because she's obsessed with Octonauts. So she comes down at this point in the movie where they are driving up to this giant crack in the earth, and it's the San Andreas fault had just split the earth, and it looked like a huge canyon. And so she didn't know that I was watching a movie, so she comes down and she says, Mom, is that live? Is that California? And I said, no, and why would you even bring up California? Like, where did this come from? And I said, no, I'm watching a movie. And she just stood there and watched it silently, which is strange for my 6-year-old. And she stood there and watched it for a couple minutes. And she says, I've seen that. I've seen just that in my dream. Mom, that's the big hole. And then a bunch of water. And then she watches it, and she's, just talking nonstop. And she starts talking at 100 miles an hour, telling me that in her dream, like all of a sudden, all these dreams, she was finally able to put them into words. Where before she really couldn't tell me what the dream was, but all of a sudden she's telling me, I end up that there's this big wave and there's a whole lot of water and lots of people die. And she says, lots of people die in the water, Mommy. Dogs do too. And she's really, really sad. She is standing there in tears because she's almost remembering that people and dogs die in the water. We had never played this movie in the house. We don't watch dystopian, end of the world type movies because I have 2 children that have bad anxiety. So we don't watch the news at the house. I do everything on my phone to keep them from that. And she is just going on and on about the big wave and all these people dying. And there's a big hole in the earth, and this hole just opens up and eats people. And according to her, that the hole reaches up and grabs people and yanks them down. She's 6. So, take that for whatever you would chalk it up to. But just that she's been making weird comments and stuff since she was about 3 years old. And, then she had this, I guess, revelation when she came into the movie. It was like, okay, this feels like something that's a little more than just my child having, an interesting imagination kind of thing. And when she told her dad, he was like, well, what has she been watching? And I said, she watches Wildcrats, Octonauts, just PBS, Disney type stuff. And he said, she is really freaked out about this. She's been talking about it now, and she's really freaked out about it. And so I don't know what to make of it, but I thought it was something interesting enough to maybe share with you guys. I know a lot of people really believe in dreams and are able to interpret dreams or whatever, premonitions and whatnot. But coming from a child, it hit me a little differently. Let me just say that.
No,
so that was it. I just wanted to share that with you guys because it really creeped me out. And I did ask her, I asked her, was it San Andreas? And she said no. And I said, have you heard the word San Andreas? Because she asked me, where is it, what the name of the crack was. And I said, San Andreas. And I said it several times. And she said, no, that's not it. No, that's not it. And I was like, okay. And I said, well, that's the name of the movie. And she said, then that's not it. That one is fake, but my dream is real. I was like, okay.
Did it make you think of Cascadia Subduction Zone or something? I don't know. It's weird.
Really,
We've seen sinkholes all over the country.
I've been following you for years, and so that was my first thought, but I didn't really want to feed anything into her mind, so I didn't want to start suggesting names. I was just like, okay, so it's, she kept saying, no, it's not San Andreas, and I've been following you for years, so my first thought was, could it be Cascadia? And, but I don't know if she would even know the name of it. She would just said, no, it's not San Andreas, but it looked just like that, the big crack in the earth. And she was able to describe the waves. And for my child to talk about people and dogs dying, and I have to say it was almost like she was more sad about the dogs dying than the people, but she's 6. So there you go. But I don't expose her to things like death and stuff. So that really, it just hit really weirdly. I'm like, I shelter her from all of our, SHTF type stuff. And I don't know where she would get this, but she was absolutely adamant, and it was like she was re-seeing it in her head.
Well, Pippi Bebo, is that how to say your screen name? And you guys are in Arizona. That Arizona is actually preparing for people to come from California when the big one hits. They expect that all 3 states are going to be just basically out of commission, and that all of those people are going to have to manually walk from California, from Oregon, from Washington over. And Arizona is actually preparing. They're financially preparing and drilling and exercising to accept people walking from California into Arizona. So that is a crazy thing. And then the tsunami, of course, is going to wipe out the entire West Coast. I don't think people realize how big this will be.
I've heard you say that a lot.
Isn't that weird?
If you've ever driven from California to Arizona, that's a hell of a walk through a lot of desert and sand dunes and stuff.
Exactly. So why would your state be preparing?
A lot of people would not make it walking.
Exactly. It reminds me of the Denver airport mural with the guy with the sword and all those people walking with luggage, and they're all walking out of a movie, like nomads walking across the desert to land. That's how bad it's going to be. That is what Arizona is financially preparing for. That's what they have actually drilled for. So you don't have to believe me. Your state is actually doing it. 21 states are preparing for that event. So it's not going to just be 3 states and everybody's going to go, oh, poor people over there. People are going to feel it 3,000 miles away, which 3,000 miles, the country is 2,800 miles across in places. You're going to feel it on the other side of the country. That tsunami is going to be more than news. It's not going to be like Japan where you watch it on the news and go, oh, poor people in Japan. It's going to be like, you're going to feel it. It's going to change the time of the day. So with everything, yeah, my daughter is 6, just turned 6, and I know that age, and I know what they know, and that is creepy. I do believe that kids are much more perceptive because they're not tainted by, the world yet, and a lot of the things they say, it's just, it comes from a much more innocent place. So when they say stuff like that, it is something you pay attention to.
No, over the last, since she was about, I want to say this started about 3 years old, and it was just, she would say little things. She often talks about her life in heaven and her memories in heaven, and that's been something that she's always done, where she talks about, when I was in heaven, it was like this, or I remember this and that. And I don't really push it one way or the other. I just say, okay, sweetie, that sounds great. And she tells me things like that, but little things that she started talking about, it was just little comments or things that happened that I don't even know why, but for some reason in all of, the everyday moments, I have filed these little things away. And so it was just at that moment in the movie where it was like putting all the puzzle pieces together all of a sudden and stepping back and seeing a bigger picture. And it just hit me so differently that I was like, whoa.
Well, Pippi,
this is what she's been seeing for 3 years. And 3 years, mind you, is even before I started listening to you. I've been listening to you for about 2 years. So I was like, this started even before that. This started before I got into all of this. Where could she have gotten this? And I have no idea.
I don't know, Pippi. Pippi, it sounds like...
It has to
me,
like, it seems like it's something greater than us.
Pippi, it sounds like you have a very special little girl there. And say hello for her. We are out of time, Pippi, but thank you so much for calling in, and thank you for the story. I believe that little girl is definitely going to be a very special person. So, well, thank you so much. You have a great night. Again, be safe, be prepared.
God bless you and all of your family, and thank you to Dex. He was awesome. And have a good night.
All right,
I'll keep
you
listening
too.
to the show.
All right, it was nice meeting you, Pippi. It's your first time call. Don't make it your last. That was Pippi Bebo out of Arizona. Again, first time caller. Those kind of calls, they kind of send shivers down my back because I don't know. I don't know why, but kids saying that kind of stuff is really rare. And you know, everybody has those kind of things. I've heard stories of kids predicting catastrophic events. In fact, there's documentaries and research in Harvard and Yale into children predicting things. They actually had to go look at it because it was something that has happened so many times that, you know, they had to do actual research studies on it. Very creepy stuff. Let's see here. We've also got... and just a reminder, follow me on Twitter. Go over there and follow me. We lost 7,000 people in 2 hours, so we need to rebuild that up. That, of course, was during the events of the 6th that just 7,000 people disappeared. Like Left Behind, Twitter edition. Only kind of reverse. Make sure to go follow me over there at Marfoogle. Just go over to Twitter and type in at Marfoogle, and you'll find it. Tower Bear, thank you for being the top contributor over on DLive so far. Again, thank you with the equivalent of 3 Ninja Guineas. Deja Voodoo 22. Thank you so much at 1.5. Thank you so much. I apologize if I missed a message there. Lisa K 23. Thank you. Texas Rob 49 and Wayne B. Thank you, and thank you. Hexagonal Peach, Alternative Me, Nordic Prince, thank you. Deep State of Mind, Sunny Beach Girl, thank you for being here. All of you over there on DLive, thank you. Okay, let's... Sorry, I forgot what I was doing. All right, Dex, let's get our next caller on. It sounds like we have another first-time caller, Justin, talking about the Iowa situation. Let's do it. Justin, you're live on Marfoogle News. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Justin, what's going on in Iowa?
Oh, well, my pipes are frozen tonight. Got no water. So I had to go to the gas station and buy some bottles of water so I could, we're actually washing our hands tonight and drinking off of bottled water, and I had to give the animals some bottled water tonight. It's pretty cold up here.
Wait, now you said your pipes are frozen, like you can't get water out of the pipes? You can't get water out of your sink?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Wow. Okay. Now, do they have any kind of weather forecast, like when it's going to unfreeze there, or what?
Well, tomorrow's, they're saying it's supposed to be 5 degrees above zero, which we've been below zero for probably about a week now or so. We've been under wind chill warnings and advisories off and on for the better part of the last 7 days or so.
Now, you're talking about negative temperatures. Do you guys have those all the time? Are you guys more set up for that than the rest of the country?
We are up here in Iowa. Yeah, I mean, we are, and we're not to a point. I mean, Right now I'm looking at my forecast, and the actual temp is 13 below. Feels like 29 below.
Now, how do you guys live with that? How do you? I mean, from people from Florida or people from Seattle, both of us equally are like, how would you live with this on a regular basis? How would you live in freezing temperatures like this? Is there something? Is there a reason why you stay in Iowa? I mean, it seems like to me it would be a disaster almost every year.
Well, I guess with a lot of people, I guess it comes down to budget and family situations. I lost the job. I was unemployed for a couple months, making good money as a mechanic. I just recently found another job. It doesn't pay as well. It's just kind of something to get us by for now. I'm only making $10 an hour now, so that's about a 50% pay cut from where I was at before.
Yeah,
so,
it wouldn't be livable
I'd like
here.
To move further south, but
here you wouldn't. I mean, you can't live on $15 an hour here. That's minimum wage here, and the average one-bedroom apartment is $2,000. So, yeah, I could see how it's different there, but it's still for a mechanic. What city are you in?
Little town near North Springs, Iowa.
Well, I'm just going to put it out there. If you're in North Springs, Iowa, and need a good mechanic, this gentleman needs a job. That's not okay. You should have some sort of position there, especially for more than $10 an hour, no matter where you're living. If you're in Houston, Texas, or Iowa, or Seattle.
Yeah.
Well, I'm praying.
The bigger cities that offer more, a little bit better jobs near me are Charles City, Iowa, and Mason City, Iowa.
Well, I'm praying for you to get a job that makes sense. Now, is there anything else you wanted to say before you go? Thank you for the update on Iowa. That's horrible.
Well, just the whole dark winter thing, I did a video about a year ago. I got a small little channel. I don't even have 100 subscribers. I try to do what I can when I have time, but I did a video about a year ago about planned power outages. They did an Army drill in, I think it was Los Angeles. They had Army helicopters flying around at night. It was unannounced. But I don't know if you or any of your viewers would like to check out my channel.
What is it?
It's... You there?
Yeah, go ahead. What's your channel name?
It's News Network Now Constitutional.
I feel like I've seen your channel.
I got the Gaddison flag, "Don't Tread on Me," as my thumbnail.
Yeah, that's probably
it's
gonna.
Not a very big channel.
No, but just to let you know, things like that in your channel name will get you held back. What we'll do is we'll find the link to your channel and we'll put it on our website under a caller. Dex, I'm sure you can handle that. News Network Now Constitutional. And then
correct.
And it looks like it's probably I have to put it in all one word, right?
Let's see. No, it's all separate. This is the way I got it on my channel. I got 88 subscribers. The last video I did.
There we go. I found you.
Yep, you got that last video from about a week ago.
Okay, well, everybody go over and support.
I don't know if I can say those two words on your channel, so I'm not saying it about a temple by the police department.
I got you. I'm showing it right now on the screen so they can read it. Well, thank you for calling in, Justin. It's your first time call. Don't make it your last, okay? And don't be a stranger.
Definitely, I appreciate it. Thank you guys very much, and love you all your subscribers and you guys, and keep up the good work.
Well, thanks for being part of the fam. All right, you have a good night. This video that you can see on the top corner, it says "Free Temple by Police Department." Support people that are trying to create and trying to put stuff out there, but mainly support the Foogle fam. We need to all support each other. Go over and say hi back, push each other up. I promise you push 10 people up today, you're going to get the favor returned. People are going to be pushing you up. Instead of getting involved in drama, go and use that same time and push other people up. And trust me, In the end, it will come out so much better. All right, let's see here. Nordic Prince, Annoy B, Charlie64, Ordinate, thank you so much. Bug Nana, Yabba Dabba Sexy, thank you all for being here. Jam, hey, how are you doing? I haven't been, I'm getting back on Twitter again. I took a break because of I couldn't take it for a minute during that whole event. It was just horrendous. When I see false headlines every single minute that I'm on there, it's really hard for me. Somebody who covers this stuff and it goes, okay, I know that's not true. How are you saying that? Everyone. All right. Dex, let's can you please read me the top 5 over on DLive there? For some reason it keeps reloading.
Yeah, absolutely, Adam. So number 1, we have Tower Bear. Number 2
Thank you,
is
Tower Bear.
Deja Voodoo 22. Number 3 would be Lisa K 23.
Thank you.
Number 4, Texas Rob 49.
Thank you.
And number 5 is Wayne B.
All right. Well, it looks like it's a Tower Bear song tonight. We are all. So just this was breaking right before the show. U.S. official says 14 total rocket rounds fired at U.S. base in northern right? 4 rockets landed in U.S. compound, 10 outside based on initial reports. We will attach this tweet and more over on the website. In fact, so just so you know, there is additional Too Hot for TV content on our website, marfooglenews.com. In fact, when you go there, you'll see all of everything over there. And if you want to support us and you want to support our ventures, you can also find any of the affiliates. You can also find our PayPal and our Amazon link. If you click on this little box, you will be able to support us in that way. If you're already shopping at Amazon, if you're already buying stuff on a daily, if you go over here, click on that box, then it won't change anything for you. It will just help us. Instead of giving those companies your small commission, you'll give us your small commission. And then, of course, the PayPal, if you would like to support us, we are actually trying to raise stuff right now. We are trying to get some of the guests. Again, I'll be telling you in just a little bit. We hit some roadblocks, and we really appreciate your support right now. So thank you. Peachy1093. Frank Rio III, Badger Babe, I appreciate all of you. Vashadow, Maui Racing Realtor, everybody tonight. Stewie, Primal, Pirates for Me, thank you guys. Dex, it is now officially time for the shoutro. Isn't it? It is, right?
It is. Great show, brother.
A shoutro is not an outro, though. It's not even a shout out. It's, I'm trying to remember. Dex, do you remember what it's called?
It's a shoutro.
I gave you the echo. It's a shoutro. Full screen so you can see the additional content that we're putting there. It's all too hot for TV. They'll delete us if we talk about it, but we're still going to put it on our website so you can see it. We spent hours collecting it, so make sure to go over and check it out. It's additional content on marfooglenews.com. The button didn't work for music.
Save us, save us, save us from the billionaires. Save us, save us, save us from Bill and Melinda. Save us, save us, save us, save us, save us from the billionaires. Everybody knows that the Jules B and the chronically dysfunctional all really wanna go and they push and pull. And Jules B, Zippy Moons, Martin Benjamin, Jessica L, and the Ed Brown. Gunpowder Productions, remaining remnant, and the Lovin' McLovin. Got your fly girl, thanks for being fly girl. Save us from Bill and Melinda. Tower Bear, thank you for being out there. Tower Bear, thank you for being out there. Tower Bear, Tower Bear. From the billionaires. Tower Bear, Tower. Thank you for being out there. Give it up, dab, 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 dab it up. Save us, save us, save us from the billionaires. Save us, save us, save us from Bill and Melinda. Rosa Coffee, Hexagon, Beach, and Priscilla are Yabba Dabba Sexy out of the woods. Patriska, best shout Joe on the internet. Thanks, guys. With the Maui Racing Realtor looking up to the skies. Gotta watch with the Amy Rob 117, Bobby D, Sunny Beach Girl, and the Red Butterfly. Amy Rob 117 finally caught you live. You had your fly girl and the deja voodoo. 22-2 in the cold drink of water. You and the world news. Out of the woods and the walks a lot in the world. Fire horse. Hexagon Peach, everybody knows. It's a course that I would never walk back down. Save us, save us, save us from Bill and Melinda. Save us from Bill and Melinda. Yabba dabba sexy, walking on down. Everybody over on YouTube, thank you, thank you, thank you. David Tilley, Tara B. Lathery, Ari 55, and Kenneth Bunnett. Love the Foogle World from Northwest Arkansas. Changing Times, thank you for the pushing support. Mrs. D. Allen, thank you for your support. Chrissa Ann, Priz Liz, Cameron Combs, Gone Girl 777, thank you, thank you, thank you for being over and above tonight. I really do appreciate it. Jack 1069, best show on the internet. Lisa K. Why, oh why do we find at the Lindsey Graham? I don't see how Kamala doesn't find why. Gotta say why. Gotta say why. I just find the time and we put it in the grinder. Gotta see it now, we will never find her. Wine her, dine her, it's Lady Luck. They don't give about the truth, they just don't give up. I didn't say it, don't spray it. Tower Bear, Deja Voodoo, 22-2, Lisa K, 23, Lehigh. Go right back, now we go in and we ride. Texas Robo, 49, Wayne B and the rest of I. Nuclear War, thanks for the diamond. PG 1093, thank you for the ice cream. Hey now, everybody knows Fire Horse. I appreciate you more. I appreciate you more. Russian girl, Calvin A, Shutterbug, and watching Aussie skies. Bimmy on the rocket, going on the top head. Joe Adams and that Don Honey on the bottle. Oh, go now we all up rock, yeah. Hey now, the truth is out there. Zeno grasshopper, you don't care. Forest on a farmer, KGB's, I'll bring it down and I love Jesus. Bob Dog and the real Bible of life. Go and Bill Billy X, die on the bit right. T Prada and I will be all light. With Chastine and the Reveal 3 with the trumpet and that snapper beat. Marfoogle on the gastro, bulldog coffee, I am no cat. I am a Marf, I am not a cat. I am a Marf, I am no cat. I am a Marf and I am no cat. Laura Griffin, thank you. I appreciate you. Do what you do. Gotta talk to you. Go and bring it out, and I got it in my pocket. Mew, mew, meow, meow. Do it right back, and we tout. With the veterans, Steve, Pam, Gone Girl, and the rest of the plow. I love Beagles and the Robert Spiker. Gotta bring Sasquatch Moon, Sharon Lewis, and you too. Wolfing on the pics and the asterisk, and everybody loves you. Hexagonal teacher, the Nebulon game. Mainline, rimmer, arrow, and that vein. Head on a swivel with all no fame. Never coming this way, go at dames. Gonna see the city hawking right all the way down. Seeking the true people 3 and the Bimmy Rockhead. K-King and that Polymer Clannon. Catherine, I'm not a cat. Freak flags fly and the go back why. I forest farmer gotta ask you why. A yabba dabba sexy and I go die in the side of the K-King and the fly and that love how and everybody blow. Yeah, now with the Charlie 64, J Stone gotta be the break on rockin' till the break of dawn with the Jamie Miller. Go and get me some up a filler. Lisa or Hall, I appreciate y'all. Oh yeah, bring it on the David Wolf hurt. No got hit and I never get hurt. This is my screen name, Shannon and BOD. Where are you? I hope you're watching the replay. The replay. With the Neil Nelson, asterisk, wolf and pig, Johnny on the fry, and everybody knows. Watcher 2, Joe Adams, seeking truth, and I love Chihuahuas, and it's even colder. Bob Dobbs giving Dennis Jones a cold shoulder. I'll recalcitrant and cognitable with the Winzy in the bar shadow. Everybody loves a Shutterbug Kate, and everybody wait. Mercer 1 and everybody say, a Johnny on the fry, Mrs. a die, Nordic on a prince, everybody fly, Fernet on the ball. Says he's a clown, but does he do anything of any kind of sustenance? With the Sean on S and the boom shagalaka. Boom shagalaka. Boom shagalaka. Boom shagalaka. Going right back into your beat now. Sunny beach girl, sunny beach girl, sunny beach girl, corn pop. Why? He's in his presence, Planet X watcher. Everybody want a glass of water, but the pipes are frozen and now they got her. Got her a walk down 5 miles in the snow, barefoot both ways, both ways, both ways, both ways. But they are for real and it's really bad out there. I'm praying for everybody in the Midwest, yeah. I gotta bring you that gem. Do it every day and they don't condemn. I wanna ban and die. My peacock died. My peacock died. My peacock died. My peacock My sloth has no claws. He is naked right. Now I know I help the cat eat the bowl of coffee white with the cake and everybody knows my peacock died. I tried to keep it alive. My peacock died. I tried. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I didn't know you actually were talking about. I honestly, I am so sorry. I did not know people actually owned peacocks. Not a joke. So sorry. Someone's peacock actually died. I am really apologize. May your peacock be in heaven. 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 Tower Bear, Deja Voodoo, 22-2, Italy's a gate, 22-3, 23, maybe, -1, maybe that'd be 22-2, cause it rhymes better on in a Texas rock. 49 lines, coming to big night, put it back around and never say bye. You know you hang up, no you hang up. You hang up, no you hang up. 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 Thank you, Peaceful Waters. Thank you, Recalcitrant, Out to the Woods, Priscilla R, Tupid Twacker, Rebel Snarfle, Love My Lady, Johnny Fry, MLB 59, Batriska, Mockingbird, 1011. Thank you. baby on my side, I'm about to go ride. I pick it up and down like I pick up a dime. Jeeping on the bike, on the going back and fly, on the fly guy. With the mind, with the grid on the wireless. I've got to ride all night until I find my soul on the inside. And I'm about to get in at my ride. And no, I'm not going anywhere. 3 foot of snow is keeping me here. Gonna go inside, maybe do a Bob Ross painting. Maybe gonna do a Bob Ross painting. I am a scat cat, sheriff from the day. I am a scat cat, going back around in LA. I can't eat, bring it right back like an S-card. S-card, step into the flow with the David F. and those little doors. Busy on the boys and the vibe coming through. David on the F and the going back to. Dave Ramrod with the ginger air car. Bring it right back and I step into the floor. Barbara is the best. Going back now, I am glad. No impact, just in time. Hey, time. Have a good night. Be safe, be prepared, and morph out. The one time I tried to get my chair to squeak, I didn't do any. Where's the squeak? Marfoogle Productions. Why are you still here?